Well, you'll watch in a minute, you'll see, because I'm doing about 6 different things. Somebody's asking me why it's complicated, because we're doing 3 different fruits and 3 different fillings. So the first one is I'm doing this thing called quick gel. It's 7 fluid ounces of water, which is 200 millilitres, and you put in the boiling water, and then you let it dissolve, and then you let it cool down. This is a bit like arrowroot in here. It's strawberry flavoured. The supermarkets do 2 flavours. They do orange flavoured, and that would be good for peaches, oranges, apricots, any orange fruit. They only have the red one in the supermarkets. So you have to stir this until it dissolves, and you can put in fruit juice in there as well. So that's done. But what happens is it's too runny now. If I put it over the fruit now, it will just run straight off. But once this gets cold, not too cold, warm, it goes really thick. So I can speed this up by just putting it in some cold water, but I don't want it to make too cold because I make the mistake of it getting too thick, right? So I'm just going to put some water in there just in case I'm going to do that. Now the other thing we're going to do is make a thing called pastry cream, which is crème pâtissière. Sometimes they call it on the bake-off, that's the French name in it. Front left, I'm just going to put that on number 6. And also normal custard. So we've got like normal custard that you'd have with apple pie could go in the bottom. Fresh cream you can have in the bottom, or you can have the pastry cream in the bottom. So for the pastry cream, we need to separate the eggs. Now, Freddie here wants to weigh it in a minute, so he's going to make some of this in a minute. And this is be enough for half the class, and Freddie's going to make for the rest of the half of the class. So in here, and we'll give him the recipe. In a minute, Miss Jenny, can you give Freddie the recipe for the pastry? Now we don't throw the egg whites away. I'm not going to make them now, because we're going to run out of time if we do that. But I'm going to do make it into meringues, but I'm not going to do that now because we have got an hour, but I reckon it's going to take the pupils a lot longer than they think to do this. So with this, we whisk it up. Somebody's got me some things out. So we're going to whisk the sugar up, the egg and sugar up, and then we're going to put the flour in there and put the hot milk on it. So this is what's pastry cream. So what's this ready? Whisk it. This in here, there's corn flour, and there's corn flour and normal flour, 8 grams of each, for 2 eggs. And there's some sugar. We whisk that up. We're waiting for the milk to boil, which won't take long. While that's boiling, I'm going to do something else, right? So it does need to come to the boil. Then we return it to the pan so it goes thick, so it's like a thick, rich custard. This milk is nearly boiling, and we're going to use the normal custard powder for that. So this is Bird's custard powder. We're going to put about 2 tablespoons of this, dilute it with a bit of milk, whisk it in here, and we get normal custard, then we thicken it up with things. So I'm going to put it in. This little one here should just be enough. So we're going to put some in here. So this is custard powder. Now custard powder is yellow, obviously, as you can see. It doesn't look very yellow now, but when it gets hot it gets even more yellow. It's got vanilla essence in it and yellow food colouring and corn flour. That's how they make custard, by the way. So this is nearly boiling. So we're going to dilute it. Oh, this is going to be enough for the whole class. So they've got 3. We've got 3 different ones here, so they can have 3 each, right? So I'm going to do a pear, an orange and a strawberry. They're going to do a strawberry, but they've only got 2 strawberries. I don't need all these, actually. I'm going to put them in half, but they've got 2 strawberries, and they're going to slice them, and then they can spread it over. So you're going to have 1 with cream, 1 with custard, and 1 with pastry cream, right? That's the 3 choices you're going to have. Then once you've done a taste test of it, next week you can tell me what you like. Now, I like the pastry cream. This is like normal custard. Oh, this is boiling over there. You see that's nearly boiled over. To stop it boiling over, I'll just move it for a minute. I'll leave the heat on because I need to put it back on afterwards. Why does custard, if anybody knows this, they're going to get a prize today. Who knows what the science word is, why sauce gets thick? It's quite a hard one. I'm looking for some whisks at the moment. Here they are. With my visor on, it's twice as hard for me to read. So I've got these whisks. And this is called a little balloon whisk. I think I'm going to use one of these. This one's a bit small. This one I don't like much because it's the old-fashioned metal. So one thing I can do first is to make sure there's no little lumps in this first, otherwise it'll go lump. Now, who knows what the special word is? Anybody know? It's a real hard one. Everybody knows gelatinisation. So what happens is flour or corn flour, as it gets hot, about 70-80 degrees, swells up. When it boils, or below boiling point, it bursts, and it bursts like a balloon and thickens it up. If this was thin, this is now thickened up straight away, right? And I'm going to show you this with a spoon. So this is thickened up straight away. As you can see, it's gone thick straight away. There's no sugar in it yet. I'm going to put some sugar in it in about 30 seconds. I'm going to put it in a bowl. So sometimes when you whisk, oh, this is done as well. So I'm just going to whisk that for a minute. I'm going to turn it off because I reckon that's thick enough. You do want it quite thick because it's going to have the fruit on top, but you don't want it super thick. And it's going to be just thick enough, I think. I'm going to turn that one off. So front right, that's turned off. This one's boiling, as you can see. This is the pastry cream one. So I'm going to whisk this, add it slowly to this. Now this is running, right? You see this is running. It will only get thick by the gelatinisation when it gets to about 80 degrees. So as you can see, it's probably not 80 degrees as well. This goes back, put it back on. Now I'm going to use a spatula for this one. And this is why, if we were just making one bottom, like just fresh cream, it would be quite easy. But when I'm showing you the three different things, that's why it's going to take you longer. So in here, we're going to stir this continuously, and it'll get thick really quickly, this, yeah? Which it is at the moment, yeah? Trying to do three things at the same time. So this would do about half the glass, and Freddie's going to make enough for the half and half a glass. Tegan's done the cream for the whole glass. Now this is, if it's gone a little bit thick, this is too thick now. Now we can add a little bit of milk, right? So if it's too thick, that's going to be like real hard. Or we can add a little bit of cream. So that's okay. I've turned it all off. It's like this. So I don't think anything is burning. I've got to turn this off now, even though it looks like it's bubbling. So this one's just going to stir for a bit. This one's done. And I'm going to put the sugar in it. So I need about a good 2 or 3 tablespoons of sugar because quite a lot of milk here. So here we'll get some sugar. 1, 2, 3. If I had some vanilla essence, I like the vanilla flavour. But then what I'm going to do, I'm going to transfer it to a clean pot because this pot here isn't, but it might be burned from the bottom. So this is enough of the whole glass for one. And oh, actually, Miss, did I bring that banana in, Miss? Oh, I've got a banana because you can do banana, and then rather than the gel, you can put apricot glaze on it. So I'm just going to get. Oh, we've got one here. I'll use this one. So this is nearly done. It's still a little bit thick. Is that a little bit of fresh cream? What's that cream? I'm going to use a little bit of the cream there. But just to get a bit of a creamy taste. So pastry cream, it's normally made with milk with no cream, but you can either have butter or fresh cream in it, or egg whites in meringue, and that makes different types of pastry cream. And in the bake-off, I would put some vanilla essence in here. I've got none, but I have got a little bit of orange zest, so I could. I've saved it and I put it in my container like I've asked you lot to. I'm going to put in to flavour it, so it's going to be a little bit of orange flavour. So give that a good stir. That one's finished, put that one in soak. Right, now that one's done. As you can see, it's not too runny, but a little bit more cream. Don't want it the right consistency. And that one's there. So, I'm turning that off. Now what you normally do to stop it getting a skin is put it in a bowl with a bit of sugar on. Believe it or not, sugar will stop it getting a skin. So you get a little bowl out. This will be for half the glass. And like I said, Freddie's making another one. So you put it in here. So your first job, Freddie, will be to make this. Miss is going to get you the recipe, and you just weigh it out. And you're going to make that. So that should be, we don't need enough for the whole, we can't all make it each because this is made with 2 eggs and we'll have far too much stuff. So this will be, if you ever watch the Bake Off, they quite often make this. It's called creme pâtissière, quite well known for being quite difficult to make, yeah? So that one's finished with, put that one in soak. Then, what do I say to save it getting the skin on it? Sugar, well done. So I'm going to fill one up anyway. So this one is going to be pastry cream. Don't completely fill it because we want the fruit on there. So then I'm going to put a little bit of sugar on it, ready for you guys, so it doesn't get a skin on it, or you can wrap it up, but that's a well-known way.